Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Just a Girl and Her Knitting. My name is Heather, and I am coming to you from a cold Eastern Washington this morning. It's like 36 degrees or something like that. It's cold. The fall has shown up. It is officially fall here. So today we have a few finished objects, a couple works in progress, start of a Stephen West MCAL, which I'll show at the end. So for people who are doing it and don't want any spoilers, I have a couple crank tubes that I need to mail today. And it looks like it's mostly socks and one non-sock finished object. So I guess let's get started. You guys can find me on Instagram and Ravelry. I will link that down below. So where do we start? I have my projects in front of me. We will just start picking. So I got an order on Etsy for some sock tubes on like Monday, maybe, and got the yarn in the mail. So I got them cranked up. So I cranked up this Regia on my 72 stitch cylinder. I guess I can take this out. Again, Regia. And the color is 04898. Hopefully you can see that. But all it is a 30 row hung hem. And then I cranked all 50 grams. And I did that twice. So each of these ones are gonna all be the same. 30 row hung hem, then 50 grams cranked, and then repeat, rinse and repeat. So these go out in the mail today, this afternoon, or this morning. Actually, I'm gonna take them out this morning. Take them and put them in the mail in the morning. This morning. Ugh. Words, it's early. So the first one is a Regia. The second one is also a Regia. I'm not going to take this one out of the thing. It's also a Regia. It's a merino yak. 32 or 30 round hung hem and cranked 50 grams. Did the same. Then the third pair is I've never heard of this brand. Its colorway is Rocky Mountains, I know that much. I don't think you can see that. So these were three projects, projects, whatever you want to call it, that I got done this week. It was nice that I didn't have to switch out my cylinder. I already had my 72 stitch cylinder on my machine, so I was able to just put those on and get them cranked. All right, let's see. We have 4 more pairs of socks. So let's start with the smaller pair. See if it falls. So last video I was test knitting for Nancy Wheeler of Knit Sip Happy. She had a new sock pattern coming out for PEI Fiber Festival, which is Prince Edward Fiber Festival. It's being held Saturday and Sunday in Prince Edward Island, Canada, I think. I'm not 100% sure on that. But these are the Stitchery sample socks. Every time I go to record, my nose. So these are super fun. The premise is they're supposed to be like a embroidery sampler. So you have 10 different stitch patterns. So this is 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. I added just a row of garter at the beginning of the heel and at the end of the heel. This is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And then number 7 is here. I just repeated it and then added a row of garter on the toe. This is knit out of Mandy's Making's Share a Pair kit in the pull side popsicle, I think it was. I knit another pair of socks for Nancy called the Swiss Dot Shorties in the same colors. I just used the pink as a contrast and the green as the main color. I had tons of leftover. So I knit the 72 stitch size. I'm used to my cylinder on US 1.1 millimeter, US 1 2.25 millimeter needles. I use my red Chiaogu lace needles for this when I knit this magic loop. I have a Lone Ranger lost end. I don't know how that happened. We'll have to figure that out later. We'll have to get creative. I'm just gonna stick something on it so it doesn't escape. So we have two. They are a lot of fun. You can, with these socks, it's like a design your own, choose your own adventure with them, because you just knit whatever you want. Some people picked only one chart. Others did all the charts just on the leg. Some people did them just on the leg. Some did all 12 like I did, but did them in order. So there's a pair of socks that I finished. Finished those ones pretty quickly. They were a lot of fun to knit. My next pair is for my husband. Our anniversary is next Saturday. And so I've been knitting. I knit him socks when we got married. I also knit him his tie. And then I knit every year he gets a new pair of socks. And so I figured, well, I might as well just get a jump on it, get him started. So I needed something. So I picked out this Regia Perfect. And the colorway is 02295. I don't know what name that is. The Yarn Underground says it's Petrol Lime. That's where I got this from, is the Yarn Underground down in Moscow. We were down there for something. We went that way. I don't even remember why we were there. But we went and we swung by the Yarn Underground, and I like to buy their mystery sock bags. And I had been looking at this yarn when we were there, and I'm like, I really want that one, because it's not one that I've had and or seen. And I decided against it because I don't even remember why, but I bought a mystery bag which comes with 3 skeins of sock yarn in it, usually like 2 commercials and a hand dyed from the Plus Underground. Shelly dyes her own yarn there. It has her own yarn line. And this was in my mystery bag, which I was really excited about. So here they are. They match. Here they are in all their glory on their size 14 sock blockers. So if you've ever used Perfect before, you start with yellow at the top. So I have the scheme. So it has a yellow starter. You pull it out and you start with the color, and then you knit all the way down until you change color. Then you put in your heel. I do a fish lips kiss heel for my short row heel. You can do a boomerang heel, I think is one that they suggest. Shadow wrap. You don't have to do short row. Other people will do heel flap and gusset. I don't like them, so I don't do them unless I'm test knitting for Nancy, and then I do. And then you knit your foot, and then you do your toe. It has, basically you just follow the picture. It's kind of a good reference point. So we have 2. 1 and 2. Sorry, that was loud. They are knit 64 stitches on my Chiago 1.5, is it 2.5 millimeter needles. I use my tiny circulars for this. Oh, I have them right here. My baby needles. If anyone's ever interested in knitting on tiny circs, I highly recommend the Chiagos. Not sponsored, by all my own, but I've tried all of the little tiny circulars, and these by far are my favorite. They're just the easiest. Yeah, it's a 1.5, 2.5 millimeter. So US 1.5, 2.25 millimeter needle. Oh man, I'm sorry guys. I even took my medicine and everything this morning. So 64 stitches, 1.5 US. These took me about a week to knit, a little over a week. I knit them during work meetings. And then the second sock I started on Sunday at a baby sprinkle. So we had a sprinkle to go to on Sunday. And then finished it, second sock yesterday. So that's another pair of socks. These are for our anniversary, so I'm gonna give these to him next weekend. My next pair of socks I knit. I used my circular sock knitting machine, so that's this guy right here. It is a Erlbacher Speedster circular sock knitting machine. I have a 64 cylinder needle with a 1-to-1 ratio, or 1-to-1 river, meaning it has 64. My river has 64 stitches. And then I have a 72 stitch cylinder, which I don't have a river for. Just fine, I haven't figured out my river anyways. So I guess it's okay. One of these days. When I'm done knitting big socks, I'm gonna put my little cylinder back on and mess with it. I have some time. I think I'd like to stockpile a whole bunch of knit socks that just need Kitchener, so I have something to do when this baby comes. But we'll see. We shall see. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about not knitting for a few months. So we shall see what happens. So this next pair, I don't know what color is what. I guess it doesn't matter, right? So this is Lang Alpaca Sock. It is a 75% superfine alpaca and a 30% polyamide nylon, basically. I got it in, it's a 4-ply, and it says easy wash. We'll see what happens. I got it when we were in Montana at, what was the name of it? Fiber Love. There's a store called Fiber Love. I don't remember what town it was in. But it's somewhere in Montana, around the Kalispell Whitefish area. So here they are. They're great. They're super soft. So I'm curious to see how they wear and wash. So these are still 30 round hung hem, 100 rows for the leg, a deep heel with just 2 extra stitches, 95 for the foot, and then a short row toe. The one thing I did do differently is I added a pop of color. So I did 20 rounds of the blue and 10 rounds of the gray to add in a pop. So we have 2. These are gonna go, I think these are gonna go in his Advent socks. I counted, I think I was up to 8 pairs left that I needed, and then I found a pair that I didn't realize were in the wrong spot. So that left 7, and then 6, 5. So I think I have 5 more pairs to go. I have a pair on the, I have some on now. I have this red, white, and blue knitted with on my machine now, which is going to be one of my, will probably be my lunchtime cranking. I try to, when I work, I try to crank during my lunch, since I can finish a full sock on my lunch break. My lunch break's 30 minutes. And if I have time, sometimes I'll crank in the morning before work, unless I have a project that I want to try to finish. But yeah, so I have that on the machine. I put that on the machine yesterday during my lunch break. I had to do a couple things and then I was done with those things, and I had like 10 minutes. So I got the hem, I got the cuff and hung the hem, and then started the leg. So here is the second one, same yarn, laying alpaca sock. And here it is in blue. It's a little hard to see. It is dark. It's like 5 o'clock, 5:30 in the morning here. So these ones are 30 round hung hem, only 80 rounds for the leg, deep heel, 95 rounds, 90 rounds for the foot. I think the other ones I did 95. I have it written down. So this one is colored 0088. I wasn't sure how much I was going to have, so because it says on the label, it says for men's socks you need 500 grams. I guess it's for socks? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make any sense. It's 100 grams. It's 390 meters, so probably 350 yards. So it's a little bit smaller of a, it's not a true 400 and whatever that we usually get in sock yarn. So I just knit smaller, and this is the first pair I knit. And then when I got these ones done, I figured out that I had a little bit, I had more yarn than I thought. So I went ahead and I added the pop of color and made longer legs. Alrighty. So let me fold these up. I need to block or soak these at least, because I think when I was Kitchening the toes, the blue bled a little bit. Let me grab this. So this is what I had left. So this is the gray, and this is the blue. I don't think, I haven't weighed these cones, so I can't weigh them to let you know how much I have left. I would probably say I have about 10 grams left, and probably 15-20 grams left on this. I am going to take these off my cones probably today and weigh them, because I don't need them on my cones anymore. So that's my thought process behind that. So technically 3 more pairs of socks done for him. And then my next finished object, well, my last finished object, because that's it. We're 19 minutes in, and I'm done with my finished objects. I focused on the socks and this other project because I wanted to get it done because it is a Christmas present. So this is knit out of loops and threads. This is Claret, Bardo. I don't know if you can see that. It's 100% acrylic. And then I have this one as well. And we'll call it gold mustard. Not sure. This project was knit. I don't use straight needles very often. When I do, I really like my bamboo straight needles. These used to be my go-to dishcloth knitting needles. They're US size 7, clover, bamboo. And this is my finished object. We have another emotional support chicken. I think the eyes are a little crooked or a little off, but doesn't really matter. So this one doesn't have a name yet. I thought it'd be fun if I knitted some sweaters, but we'll see. We'll see how rambunctious I'm feeling in the weeks and months to come. But this is for the niece. She asked me to make her one after she saw her brothers, because I made the emotional support chicken for her brother and for their cousin, their little baby cousin. And so she asked for one. And so I knit it for Christmas. It's knit in these colors because she's a huge Harry Potter fan. I don't do Harry Potter. I've mentioned that 1.5 million times. I am not a fan of Harry Potter and any of that, but she is. And she did her whole house thing, and she's a Gryffindor, I think is whatever these colors are. This is the house. And so I went and I just bought acrylic yarn from Michael's that was somewhat matched her house colors. I've knit a few things in this color scheme. I was knitting it, and in this area, WSU Cougars are the go-to team. University of Idaho Vandals is also because we're so close, but WSU, everywhere you go, it's go Cougs everywhere. And one of the teams that they play that's like a rival, or it's a big deal, are the USC Trojans, I think it is. Pretty sure these are their colors. I mentioned it to my husband and he's like, shh, so I'm pretty sure that's right. But yeah, so this is a Harry Potter chicken, not a USC Trojan chicken. Just for anyone who needs to know that. So, because we don't talk about that in this area. I used to work for a car rental company, and on game Fridays, and the Trojans came into town, there was a lot of this color floating around. Don't do that no more, thank God. I don't have to deal with people. Working from home is where it's at. So anyways, we don't have a name, but we do have a chicken for her for Christmas. So that's one Christmas present down. I have to decide if I'm making sweaters this year. I should probably make that decision sooner than later. If I do make sweaters, I have 3 to make this year for Christmas. I have Doug's, she's 11. Then I have Pickle, he'll be 2. And then Dill, the little baby, which that one would be easy. Dill's will be easy. It's Doug's that wouldn't be easy. Well, it would be easier, but she's bigger. So, and then I'd have to figure out a pattern, which I think I have a pattern in mind, but yeah. So next work in progress. I didn't get very far on it. I need to figure out this sleeve situation. Last time I said I was working on a baby flax and I needed to separate for the sleeve, get to the sleeve separation. Well, I did separate for the sleeves. You can kind of see I didn't get very far in it. I haven't went upstairs and got my tiny interchangeables, but this is knit out of Yarnable in the Mermazing colorway. It's a fingering weight flax by Tincanknits. So this is a flax light. I'm knitting the 0 to 6 month baby size. This is for baby button. So I didn't get very far, but this is my meeting knitting. It is knit on US size, US 5 3.75 millimeter needles. Not very much to talk right home about there. It's just a little sweater. Hopefully it'll go fast once I fix the sleeves and get them off of the long needle. I don't know what I was thinking. I just did it. My next work in progress that I'm working on is a baby blanket. So it's a little hard to see, but you start from the middle and work your way out and increases. These increases are supposed to be yarn overs, but I opted to do the same increases I do on my muscle barrow hats. And this is out of polka dot sheep yarn in the hyacinth colorway. We got this in Montana as well. This is, so once I get all the way done with the increases, I have probably 100 to go, 100 more increases, so about 200 more rows, because you increase and knit a row, increase and knit a row. Then you will knit an applied cable border, and it'll end up being a square blanket. I'll see if I can insert a photo. So I was inserting photos and different things like that, and then it was getting really hard to get it to upload to YouTube, so I stopped, and then it was working. So we'll see. Maybe with a shorter video, I can do that and I can get it to work. Last but not least, let me just double check. Let me look. The room's purple. We changed the color of the room this week. My mother-in-law came last weekend and last Saturday and painted it for me, since I'm not allowed to, since I'm still in couch potato mode, but to get ready for the baby. So we painted it purple. And I guess this is a finished object. We've moved in an armoire for storage. So that's exciting, but I digress. So in my Stephen West MCal tote, because we didn't get one this year, which is fine. It's not a big deal. I have the start of this year's MCal. So if you don't want to see it, or you're working on it and don't want any spoilers, which I completely understand, look away. Bye. This is knit out of the Life in the Long Grass singles in the Fall Mystery, Autumn Mystery. So this is Autumn Flame, this is Autumn Leaf, and I have gotten, so far, I'm knitting it on 2 separate needles. So I have semicircle number 1, so if you know Stephen West, you know that there's always something interesting in his patterns. So we have semicircle 1 and semicircle 2 are done, and they're separate. I just put them on my really long needle. So I chose to do the lighter as my main color and then the red as my contrast, because when I was watching the video, because he has a video out, he said that whatever you have your mohair dare for should be your contrast color, and I'm gonna pair mine with this, I believe. I have 2, but I think I'm gonna put it with this one, and so that's why I chose to do it that way. Really happy I went that route, because I've seen some with the same color with the red, and I'm not the biggest fan of the red as the main color, so I opted to switch it up. So today I'm going to finish my semicircle number 3 and then do the next step, which I haven't read that far in the pattern. I've just gotten this far. So again, my Stephen West MCAL 2024 Go-Go Dynamo. I am making pretty good progress since I worked all day yesterday and I have this much done. We had a birthday party to go to, or birthday dinner to go to last night. I'll give myself some credit that I didn't do too shabby. I got some done. The little semicircles don't take that long to do. They're probably, if I just sat down and did it, it'd probably take me, I don't know, about an hour or so, 45 minutes. It's just knitting and purling back and forth, some increases. So, other than that, that is all my whips and my finished objects. My goal, or my dreams, whatever you want to call it. I need to finish, well, I need to work on that steadily all month. So that's my go-to project for the month. And then I will continue to crank socks. Where is it? There we go. Every day to try to get some socks done and some yarn gone through since moving out of this room down here. I have a lot of yarn that was both down here and upstairs. So I really need to work through it. I want to try and finish the baby sweater. And then I need to make a decision on Christmas sweaters, because then I technically would need to make 4, because there's a little baby in Texas that would also get one. Great nephew. It's my husband's niece's son. He'll be 1 in February. So I need to decide. I would need to make 4. Doug's would be the biggest. But other than that, one of these days I should do a whip roundup, a UFO roundup. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling. And then I have some socks, some afterthought everything socks that I need to work on. We're going to the lake this weekend. This is our last weekend. We're going to go fishing. So my shawl is going to be my priority. And then I think this might be the next one that I knit on while we're fishing. I think, yeah, I can knit on that while we're fishing. I can also knit on that while we're fishing because it's not too involved right now. I would like to have this clue finished, obviously this week before the next clue drops next Thursday, but we shall see. Other than that, I think my knitting has kind of slowed down a little bit, which is a given. We're trying to get everything ready for when the baby comes, so that's a priority. I've been doing a lot of washing stuff, and because we've had to buy brand new everything. Well, we bought a lot of used, but we've had to buy everything because my kids are 19 and almost 21, and we're having a baby. So I don't have anything left over. So I have a whole stack of stuff over there that I washed that I need to put away, fold and put away. But other than that, do we have anything else? I'm trying to decide if I want to put some socks on my regular needles. I haven't decided yet. Do I just keep a pair going? I don't know if I have any more of this. I do have a pair of DK socks that I want to knit. Maybe that will be my next go-to, is a pair of DK socks. I don't know, I'm just rambling now. So, we're going to the lake this weekend. We're going fishing. And then we are packing up trailers next week and putting them away for the season. And then I will be home every weekend working on the basement. Fun times. Our shower does get installed on Friday, so that is exciting. My husband's off next week, so he's going to try to work a lot on the basement. Well, at least on all the drywall. I don't know what that was. So, other than that, we don't have anything planned. Our anniversary is Saturday. We're going out to dinner. I think that's it. I really think that's all there is. We talked about our finished objects. We talked about our whips. Our goals for the month. Go Dynamo. Some socks. If I have to knit 5 more pairs of socks, which I am going to count those and see. They're in the drawer over here. And then sweaters. I have to decide on those sweaters because then I have to go buy some yarn. It's not going to be anything. I'm going to go buy, is it Woolies? The same that I knit my sweater vest out of for Vanessa Smith Designs. I really like that yarn. It's really soft and it's warm and machine washable. I think that's what I would knit it in. But I'll get back to you. We'll see what November has to offer, what I decide. Alrighty guys, thank you. I will talk to you again later. Bye.